see someone go in the hospital, some of them would even be suicidal, and they had no hopes, no dreams, no nothing, and then they come out, and then you see them be able to get their own place. When you see these people grow, it's just soul to soul that you're reaching out.
And that's all predicated on this whole thing that we refer to as the recovery model. Recovery is really the recreation of community for a person. What we've learned about institutionalization is that institutionalization is, in fact, the isolation of a person.
Well, I was first diagnosed as schizophrenic in 1977. I had just come home from Spain.
They sent him home from Barcelona, Spain. I spoke with his mission president like 3 different times. When he came home, he didn't recognize any of us.
It's like I had to get adjusted all around with in the world I lived in. I'd lash out at people. First state hospital I went to was in Florida, and I stayed there for around 15 years.
I'd exhausted all the monies that I had getting him help. And finally, when Dr. Reagan told Hal, and he told me, he said, Hal, if I have to put you back in the hospital one more time, you're going to have to go long term. So that's when he went to the state hospital.
We know that, for instance, that the cost of a bed day in one of the state hospitals is in excess of $387 per day. And it is much more cost effective to have a person living in their own apartment, going to supportive programs out in the community.
Did you do anything to hurt yourself or kill yourself?
It's been almost a year.
Almost a year.
Under the overhang of a downtown office building, Dr. Elizabeth Fry has her appointment with Stephanie, a woman who has battled mental illness and homelessness.
There are times that I'm still challenged mentally, even while being on my medication, even while keeping all of my groups, even while going to my individual therapy.
Dr. Fry is part of an ACT team, Assertive Community Treatment, from Grady's Mental Health Services. Across the country, ACT teams are serving a population that would otherwise go without help.
We're able to come in when they're in a crisis in their life and help them stabilize.
Solitude has driven me mad, similar to the deranged hermit.
For 25-year-old Philip Haynes, an Alpharetta man who suffers from bipolar disorder and delusions and is now homeless, an ACT team may be able to help him. We connected Philip's mother, Denise, with the team so she could refer him and provide his history.
If that is determined that that's a fit, then we'll immediately schedule to go out and start engaging and outreaching to the individual.
My name is Joel Slack, and I am the director of the Respect Institute of Georgia. Maya Angelou once said that there is no greater burden than to carry an untold story. The Respect Institute assists participants in removing that burden so that they can comfortably and confidently tell their inspirational stories of recovery.
Well, prior to the Institute, my expectations was to learn how to tell my story. At first, I didn't know how to tell it at all. When I got going and everything, it seems like it helped me and also in my recovery. It got me to where, putting it on paper and everything, that I was feeling a lot better. I was getting it out. I was getting it out in the open. It was getting out of my system.
Excessive alcohol is responsible for 88,000 deaths in the United States every year. Do you know the difference between heavy and binge drinking? Heavy drinking is 8 alcoholic beverages for women and 15 for men in a week. Binge drinking is 4 or more alcoholic beverages for women and 5 or more for men in a 2 to 3 hour setting. Make sure you know the difference. It could save your life or the life of someone you know.